right. Hello, and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager's Tick Stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey, and with me, as always, and not pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody. How you doing?
And we are back with our sensational 70s, the Vancouver Canucks in the NHL. Jeff, it's 1971. You have finally... What's going on?
Everybody caught up with what we're doing here. Sort of an alternate NHL history where the Canucks came into the league a few years early on their own in 1965, I think we did it. Yeah, 65, 66. So this is what we've done since then. So I think we've actually, well, no, we dropped back by 1 point last year, but fairly steady improvement since first coming in, although it helps that we've expanded the league along the way. And kept feeding in expansion teams that are worse than us, so that's fed the record a little bit, although we're finally actually doing better than most of the original 6 teams. So we've had this a great start this year, 50 points in only 32 games, 24-6-2, and kind of running away with our division. Right behind, or well, 17 points behind us are the Kansas City Scouts, who we haven't really gone in the historical expansion order. That's why they're in a little bit early, and that's why there's both a Rockies and Scouts team. Same franchise in real life, but in this one they came in as 2 different teams. But I think we messed up a little bit on the expansion draft 2 years ago when they came in, and they wound up unusually strong. Awesome. Yeah. And the defending champion, Stanley Cup champion Kings, were the first exhibition team to win a cup in this game. Have kind of fallen back a little bit, although it was a bit of a fluke that they won last year. And over on the other side, which has got most of the original 6 teams except for the Hawks, Bruins with Bobby Orr, not surprisingly, leading the way. Gordie Howe still going strong in Detroit. For some reason, things have fallen apart in Montreal this year. They had been arguably one of maybe the best team in the game for the first 5-6 years, and their lineup still isn't too bad, but they've got a lot of guys. Henri Richard, Jean Bello was still playing. I think he had retired by this point in real life, but he's 40 now and slowing down, so they don't have a Guy Lafleur to take over in this case. So we'll see what happens with them, but they're not quite the threat they used to be.
Where did Lafleur end up?
Wasn't LA? He was Buffalo. There we go. And off to a pretty good. Yeah, it's better than he actually did in his real rookie year.
And the other guy in that draft. No, the other guy in the draft was
Marcel Dion.
Marcel Dion,
who is wound up with Kansas City, and
right.
Yet another reason why they did as well as they did last year.
Absolument.
I'll just cover the. Well, I can take you through what we've got in our team so far. In goal, two refugees from Montreal, basically. Tony Esposito, we got in the draft, and who was moved up off 5-star goalie now. Montreal had a stupid number of goalies in the mid-late 60s. So we managed to grab a couple of guys, grab one through the expansion draft, and then they let go of Charlie Hodge a couple of years ago, and midway through last season, and picked him up. 38 years old, but solid backup. Our D is getting a little bit older, although we've got Guy Lapointe. He's only 23. He's the clear-cut best player in there now, and we're kind of waiting on a couple of other guys. Jerry Korab and Moose DuPont develop. And hopefully that happens before Carl Brewer starts to slow down a little more. And Harry Howell is, well, actually he looked like he was done at the beginning of last year, and we picked him up for virtually nothing from the Rangers, and played reasonably well for us. And now this year he's, whoops, I'm on the wrong guy. There's Howell. Playing less this year, but he's having a great season points-wise. Almost matched his total from last year already.
Getting the job done.
And up front, we got the other half, the Esposito brothers, Phil, who we got in the trade last year, because he was still on the Hawks. Didn't go to the Bruins in this game, as he did in real life. And the Hawks have Stan Mikita as their #1 center, so they could afford to let him go. So we picked up Phil. He's obviously our best player at this point and our captain. And Red Berenson, who was a pretty good player for the Blues in their first few years in the league, on his left wing. And do we have? Yeah, I think it's Wayne Connolly on his right wing. Yeah, he's, at that point total, that must be it. Double check. Yeah, that is. Who was not the greatest NHL player, but had a pretty good WHA career. So he's developed a little earlier and is putting up points in the NHL. And there isn't going to be a WHA in this game, so we're not going to lose him there. And speaking of no WHA, Anders Hedberg, who was a big scorer for the Winnipeg Jets, is come over to North America a little early. Had a decent year last year. Hasn't really improved on that this year yet. But I think he's still got a little room to develop. And Reggie Leach, who's kind of been a disappointment. 60-goal scorer in the real NHL, though it wouldn't be for a few more years after he went to Philadelphia. But 4 points in 32 games, and only one of those is a goal. So starting to worry about him.
He was injured a lot too, so.
He lost all of last season to an injury. That's fair enough. I have to mention that.
Yeah, I would say though maybe we are the California Seals for him though.
Yep, maybe we need to trade him to somebody else so he can have his breakout season and so he can get his career back on track. Okay, so I think we can move this along. Anything we got to do? The trading deadline is not for a little while yet. We're in early December and March 1st, and I'm not sure how much we've got to move, but maybe pick up somebody at the deadline if we can get a rental. Yeah, wouldn't mind another defenseman.
We do have a bunch of free agents we're going to have to deal with here.
I've got most of them re-signed. The asterisks are the ones we've re-signed, so just the old guys that are left. Oh, Hedberg.
Like I say, you haven't signed Hedberg yet, so yeah, that's...
Wow,
he's... we really want to lose. Stanley Cup Chaser in the chat says Reggie Leach is only 21. He was a decent player with California/Oakland, but wasn't really great until he got to Philadelphia. And part of that was, as I think he would admit to, was he had an alcohol problem.
Yep.
And
then the Hawks are in more trouble because they just lost Bobby Hull for 3 months.
Ooh, that's rough.
So they've still got his brother Dennis on the wing, but after that, I think Andre Lacroix, who was part of that deal for I think we traded him for, he was part of the package that went for Esposito. And no, they still got some decent depth. Ken Hodge, Bobby Schmidt, so I don't think if you saw the game last night, apparently he's not doing too well right now, pancreatic cancer. So one of the Canucks from the first few years in the league, and then later on again in the 70s after he was with the Bruins for a while. Okay, let's get back to plan. I think the lines are fine as they are. Yeah, I think we can leave that, and just going to sim the games for this first little while. Esposito is red hot, but manages to lose to the Seals. Gary Younger with 3 assists, and Red Berenson, who was once traded for Gary Younger, the second star.
Nice.
And Detroit up next. Okay, well, it's back to back. I'm going to put Hodge in for this one. And hopefully we can shut down Gordie Howe. And another 1-goal loss. Okay, this isn't good. We had barely lost this season. Now we got 2 right at the start of this game. Oops, and now somebody's hurt. Great. Berenson, it's only day-to-day. Sore hamstring.
Well, that's okay. Red Berenson, who was later maybe best known as the Michigan head coach.
Yep. And I think he was the athletic director there for a while after Bo Schembechler retired.
Could be.
How do I want to do that? Okay, I'm going to try putting Rene Robert on into Berenson's spot. And put Ron Huston in for Robert. And Hodge has gone cold, so I'm sticking with Esposito here. And Esposito comes up with a 1-0 shutout.
All right.
And Robert improving at left wing already. Now we haven't really lost any ground. We're so far ahead of, well, 9 points ahead. Maybe we should be a little more concerned about that. And Esposito in against Colorado, who's not having a good year at all. 2-1 win. These are all relatively close games. Don't know what to think about that. Oh, Berenson's almost back. That's good.
I think what it means is we'll have some success, but not enough.
Yep. Rangers.
We were due to lose some games, though. I mean, you haven't even lost 10 yet.
Yeah. And 2-1 loss to the Rangers. Although Reggie Leach got a goal, finally. That's 2 for the year now.
Huzzah!
And Berenson is almost back, but I don't want to risk a first liner. I'm going to throw Hodge in against the Rangers. Back-to-back against them. Ouch. Probably shouldn't have done that. 6-5 loss. Oh, Dennis Hull, with his brother out, has a 5-point night.
Oh, that's not bad.
One more game against, without Berenson, against the Blues. And comes out in a 1-1 tie because there's no overtime and there are no shootouts at this point. Oh, come on. Berenson's still not back? Gonna swap Jim Watson for Dave Dunn just to get him into the game a little bit so he doesn't get completely rusty and keeps developing. Esposito against the Hawks with Ron Lowell in goal, and Chicago comes up with a 5-2 win. Andre Lacroix, who we traded away, has 3 points when he comes back against us. Finally, Berenson's back.
Good. Finally. It's been kind of a long time.
No, what had I done there? Oh, jeez, I had Houston on the second line. That's not good.
That's okay to have a little bit.
Okay, Robert and
so, Jeff, as you continue to go, talk about why you decided to go with 1965 as the starting point, even though it was 6 years ago for people not maybe tuning in for the first time. Because
there was actually there was a deal on the table to bring a NHL franchise to Vancouver before the '67 expansion. Stafford Smythe, one of the part owners of the Leafs and son of Conn Smythe, the guy who basically created the Leafs, bought them under another name and built them up in Toronto, built the arena. But his son wanted to have an NHL team in Vancouver, so tried to put together a deal to do that, which would have made him a lot of money. And 3-2 win against the Rangers. Okay, that's good. Berenson back in. And Leach has, wow. Leach has a 5-game goal scoring streak now. So I guess you heard us talking about him. Chat question, real simple 100, no sound. Adam, you want to type in chat, see if any...
I was already writing your reply.
Yep.
Or writing a reply because
Kansas City up next. And give Hodge a start, see if I can get him heated up. And doesn't heat up, but gets the win. 3 points from Esposito in on all of our goals.
Well, that's not bad at all.
Oh, and how are we doing here? We almost, yeah, just about to the New Year's, so we should be getting the... Looks like New Year's Eve against the Leafs.
All right.
And a 5-2 win. Wow, they must be hard up for goalies. They've got John Adams, presumably not the president, in goal. Oh, the Gary Smith is their regular starter.
Should dangle Hodge at them.
No, he's not really that much better, and they've got I think Hodge is... No, Hodge is 3 stars. What do we got behind him again? Gary Simmons is only 2, so yeah. And Carl Brewer, medium facial cut. He doesn't need to sit out for that. And the annual player pool, best skater Bobby Hull, who's hurt. Bobby Orr and a couple on. Dave Schultz from us. The Hammer is the toughest player in the league. And, okay, that's surprising. Charlie Hodge somehow is the toughest goalie to beat in the league. I gotta check how that email is set up. That's a weird choice for that category. So he's nowhere near the best goalie in the league.
Wily old veteran.
Yeah.
Emphasis on old at this point.
Yep. And development report. What do we got? Nobody important. All minor leaguers going downhill. Hedberg picks up a couple of points. Leach developing again. That's good. Andre DuPont, who we also wanted to see some. Anybody get an extra star? Not that I can tell.
Oh, it doesn't look like it.
Nope, doesn't look like it. Hawks up, go with Esposito against them, and hopefully we can beat them with Hull out of the lineup. Oh yeah, 3-0 shutout. Much better, and I think Leach had another goal. So all of a sudden he started scoring.
How's that? You heard of the rumors. I was thinking about trading him. Real Simple Hunter in the chat just says, go Stars, though. Oh, there is no stars in this game.
Well, no, there's still the stars. They're just not doing too well. That's what they've...
Well, I guess. Yes.
I think Barry Gibbs was actually a star for a while in real life. I don't think they've got any other... real stars, although they picked up, looks like they got Lanny McDonald in the draft this year. And Butch Goring at center, Jean Houle. Yeah, they got a little bit to build around. Goaltending may be a bit shaky, though.
It really is.
And Brewer says he's ready to play. That's good, because I've already been playing him.
Can't have him out.
Four 4-1 win over LA. First line doing the scoring again. It's going through a little too fast for me to see the leaders, but I'll just check what the scoring leaders look like now. And surprisingly, with Montreal doing so bad, Yvonne Cornway is still the top goal scorer in the league. But it looks like Esposito is tied with Stan Mikita for points. And few other guys from us. Yeah, one or two. I see one or two guys scattered through there. Three tie against Kansas City. And I think it's time to rotate Watson back out for Dunn.
It's good to have a bit of a rotation on some of these guys anyways.
Yep, just don't, because they do get rusty if you leave them not playing for quite a while. Speaking of which, not using Billy McMillan at all. Send him down to the minors. Pittsburgh, haven't given Hodge a game in a while. See if he can warm up a little bit. Well, 5-2 win, but doesn't get much of a workout in it. Anders Hedberg with 3 points. And Kings in LA up next, back to back. Good in Esposito. These are the defending Cup champion Kings. And they beat us 4-2. See if we can do a little bit better against the Flyers. And play Hodge and that since it's the second day in a row. And 3-1 win. Still not hot though. Reggie leads with yet another goal. So I'm not sure what he was doing up to this point, but suddenly he's taken off. Just taking a quick look at the standings here. Yeah, nice healthy 13-point gap over everybody else. And we're tied with the Bruins for the league lead.
Well, that's good. We should be there.
Three-one loss against Oakland. Gotta turn this around a little sooner. I'm gonna shuffle the lines again. Esposito in against the Flyers, and yeah, 4-2 win. It's a little better. And Esposito's been doing well against the Hawks. Glenn Hall, who's not playing a whole lot this year, gets a start for them, and Esposito shuts out Chicago. Curious is... No, he shouldn't. Well, Lowe's quite a bit younger than Hall, and Hall's down to 2.5 stars. Yeah, I guess that's reasonable. He's going to pass.
Well, he should be on the backs. He should be starting to be on the backside of his career at this point.
Yep, I think he was just about done at this point. Real life. And now Makita's hurt for the Hawks. So I think we did that, actually.
Rough go.
Throw Charlie Hodge in against Minnesota. And wow, he didn't get much of a workout at all. 12 shots only against him, and we only get a 3-2 win. Doug Favell with 47 saves for the Stars. And yeah, just as we talked about him, Chicago ships Glenn Hall to Buffalo for Rich LeDuc, who was a pretty decent player for the Nordiques later in the 70s. Doesn't seem to have gone anywhere yet. Been playing in Omaha, the AHL. One game for Buffalo. So who's Chicago got in goal? They got Gilles Gilbert, who I think we had at one point, didn't we? Yeah, because I think he was probably part of the Esposito trade too, so he's probably going to wind up being their starter within a couple of seasons. Cup champion Kings again. Let's see if we do any better this time. 4-4 tie. Slightly better. Still like the win. And Leach is full-time left wing now, so we actually got him on. He's been getting those points on the checking line.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad way. Get him some more minutes.
Hodgin against Kansas City. Don't really want to burn out Esposito too early. 2-1 win for us.
No, but you got to get Esposito in a good rhythm.
Yep. Oh, come on. Reggie Leach, ruptured tricep tendon.
Gone for...
Indefinite.
Lovely.
Not what we wanted. Okay, well, we're going to have to do something here. What's happening
Funny
with...
enough, as I've been simming through my game, he got hurt for 4 months, too.
Yeah, and he wasn't particularly injury-prone in real life, from what I remember. But that's his second major injury now, and we've still got Dan Maloney out indefinitely. So, somebody's coming up, but we've got nothing better than the one-star guy.
Did you see who's actually the top person you can sign as a free agent if you go to transactions? Or, sorry, the top person on the free agent list?
I'm guessing it's Valery Harlamov, but he's Russian and you can't sign him.
Oh, that's not who I was talking about. It's an 18-year-old on mine. There you go.
That's
top right there. No, just before you sorted, Jeff. Just go back off the page and come back. You missed the top person, even though they're 18 years old. You can't sign them.
Yeah, well, those are the draft guys. There's no point in looking at those because you can't sign them.
No, but did you see who it was coming? Oh, Jeff, you're ruining it.
Who, Potvin?
Oh, it's our favorite Japanese player.
Oh, Tsujimoto. Yeah, who's got everything set to 1 in his ratings, so I don't think we'll be picking them up. But we're going to call up Battleship Kelly to... Well,
with a nickname like that, he should be ready to go.
Yeah, one of Don Cherry's favorites. But I don't think... Oh, no, third line, so Leach... Schultz gets the third line time, and the Battleship goes on to the checking line. Or the fourth line, rather. That right? That right. How many points do you have? He was up to 9 goals. And he only had 1 at the start of this when he began the stream.
Fantastic.
Should mention that we're streaming on Twitch and Steam as well. So if you're watching on Steam and you see us talking to somebody in the chat, you're not insane. It's there's 2 different chats. Starting to see some trades, but a fairly minor one between Penguins and the Rockies. We'll get a few more of those as the trading deadline gets closer. And first game without Reggie Leach. Wow, 9-2 win against the Blues. Who got the points in that? Esposito with the hat trick. How did the wingers do? Schultz, yeah. Both pretty mediocre games from Kelly and Schultz. Harry Howell, 3 points. Pushing 40 years old, but still going.
Well, hey, whatever you can get is whatever you can get.
Yeah, I mean, we expected him to retire at the end of last year, and he didn't. So, and looks
did you offer him another contract at this point?
I had not yet. Let's fix that right now. And he's actually going to take a little bit of a pay cut, it looks like. Throw Charlie Hodge in against the Stars and hope he can actually get hot at some point.
Are you going to re-sign Charlie Hodge, or are you going to let him walk?
I will probably re-sign him. It makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think Gary Simmons is... I mean, Gary Simmons isn't bad, but I'd rather have him as the third than the second.
Hodge just declined to 2.5 stars. He's not 3 anymore.
He's still better than Simmons.
Well, for now.
If he signs a 1-year deal, there'd be nothing wrong with that.
Okay, got a little bit of a break in the schedule here, I think. Board confidence update. Yeah, the owner loves us, not surprisingly. Let me just check the job security screen. And fan happiness is 100. Couldn't be happier. Team chemistry is great, and job security is in the green. I'd expect that to be in the blue with where we are right now, but...
Oh, you know, Vancouver owners and fans, never happy.
I know, I'm pretty happy with them right now after last night's game.
If you're watching this later on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, last night the Canucks staved off elimination in the first round of the playoffs, and that was Game 5, was it not, Jeff?
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have been eliminated, but we would have been down 3-2, but came back from a 3-1 deficit and won the game, so...
No, they would have been eliminated if they lost that game.
Yeah, I know, that's why you said staved off elimination.
Yeah.
And I said, no, they wouldn't have.
They did stave off. Oh, you're confusing me.
But they can knock off the Blues tomorrow night. Four tie against Gordie Howe and Wings. Not really hearing much from Gordie Howe this year. Is he slowed down finally? No, point a game. Still good. Still 5 stars. Kansas City, come on, Hodge. Get hot at some point at least. I'd like a...
Oh, he's probably used to playing 60 games, and now you got nothing.
5-1 loss. Okay, maybe we just got to ride Esposito the rest of the way if he's going to stay that. It's going to be that much of a difference between the two of them.
Yo, it's Tony O.
And speaking of Gordie Howe, he just signed a, what did he get, a 1-year deal?
You should try and get Gordie Howe.
Single year. Well, he keeps re-signing with Detroit, unfortunately.
Trade for him.
Because I've got lots of guys to offer for a 5-star player.
Esposito. Both Espositos.
No, that's the kind of trade you would make.
I wouldn't do that, no.
Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
And 2-0 shutout over Minnesota. I think that's, how many is that for Esposito this year now? 6 shutouts, almost matching his total from last year, and the save percentage is up, about 15 points too. Pretty happy with that. And we getting any movement at all? No, oh, no, more injuries. Oops, I should have put Leach on the injured list. But something's wrong with Carl Brewer now. Knee contusion, 1 to 2 weeks, so done. No,
There's
Watson.
not a lot of help on the trade block so far, in my game at least.
Take a look at ours. Yeah, best player on there, Gary Jarrett from Buffalo. Wouldn't really add much to us. But other than that, yeah, just a bunch of spare parts. No big names. And how much longer we got to go? Oh, we only got 2 weeks to the trading deadline. Okay, so Play a couple more games and then take a look at that and figure out what we want to do. Yet another tie, 3-3 against the Sabres with Glenn Hall in goal. How's he playing for them? 5 games, not that hot, but... Oh, great. Guy Lapointe injured day to day. Oops, not us. And not available for the game, so somebody's going to have to come up. And let's see if Pat Quinn can finally get it going.
Here's hoping.
As he's been a pretty big disappointment so far. Well, hopefully it's going to be just one game like this. And a 4-3 loss to Chicago. Not great. And Esposito cools off a little bit in the process. Back to back against the Leafs. See if we can do any better against them. 2-2 tie. A little better. How's our lead? Wow, 22 points. Yeah, we're running away with this. And Bobby Orr got hurt, but not seriously for... Okay, Guy Lapointe almost back. Helpful, we've got a few days off here. And yeah, he can play. And Brewer is almost back as well. Back against the Leafs again. And a 3-1 win. Okay. I think we recovered there. Now, before this game against... no, I guess we can get these two in and then look at the trading stuff. Esposito gets the first start. Oh, 4-1 loss against Montreal. Did they suddenly start doing better? Yeah, a little better. Still quite a ways back. I think we've got the playoffs set, so it's the top 4 in each conference. Is that right, Adam?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. And Jean Beliveau got his 750th assist against us. Trade deadline just about here. Okay, throw Hodge in against...
Okay, there's somebody amazing on the trade deadline in my game.
We got a 5-4 win against Detroit. Let me just get up to...
February 29th.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to take it right to the trade deadline, I think. Just double checking that it's definitely on the... Yeah, definitely on March 1st.
Stop on the 29th. Stop on the 29th.
Okay.
See, there's players there.
You want to see what? Check the trading block?
Yep.
Oops, it's free agents.
Transaction.
Gilbert Perreault, surprisingly.
Oh, that's not the one who's on mine. Huh. He
Who's
just
on-
signed a deal. Mine is Daryl Sittler.
Sittler, I think, just re-signed in this one in this game.
So it's the opposite. That's interesting.
Yep. Let's see. Future GM and actual Canuck, Dale Talon. Pittsburgh's trying to move him. That's maybe the most interesting thing on the... it's up for trade right now. Although with all the missing guys on the left wing, although it only goes down to the third line. We're going to get either of these guys back. Maloney's still 3 to 4 months away. I don't think so unless it's mid-playoffs. Let's see what Pittsburgh wants for Talon. They're weak at goalie and center, so maybe you're right about Hodge. I'll try throwing him in, and we'd have to move a defenseman out to make room for him anyhow.
Would probably be worth it.
Okay, Hodge and Dunn, they won't go for that. And because the drafts are only 2 rounds long at this point, I can try throwing in our second rounder. Oh, we're not on the first anyhow. I'm just going to offer this and...
You should be getting mostly instant replies at this point.
Yeah, I did. Let's see, can we throw them another defenseman? Without Huston, spare center. Nope, too weak. Wondering if we really want to make a run to the playoffs this year. I mean, Talon's only 21. Think it's worth giving up a first-round pick?
No. I don't think so. We've given up a lot of picks. Although I'm trying to think who's coming in this draft.
Potvin, it's a pretty strong one.
Let me just check here.
Could swap Andre DuPont in instead of Dave Dunn. Put that pick back. Okay, Hodge, DuPont, and a second rounder.
Is this not...
Still saying I have to increase the offer a little. Is what not?
Well, what draft did you say this was?
So the Denny Potvin one?
I don't think it is.
Nope, 72-73. The Islanders got him. I think. Or is it 73-74? Am I a year early?
I think you're a year early. This is the Bill Barber draft. Is Steve Shutt, Bill Barber. Billy Harris went first overall draft, I think.
Oh yeah, because we're a year early on the Islanders expanding, or well, more than that. But
well, because we never had the age changes. We're a year ahead of what the actual draft is.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
and
I do not think I'm going to get this trade to work unless they unlikely go for
so
that.
Actually, there's not a lot of great stuff in this draft. Looking.
Okay, well I'm gonna play this game against Montreal and get us to the deadline day.
So notable names out of the 72 draft, which will be the 71 draft for us, if you're confused and following along. Billy Harris, Don Lever, Steve Shutt, Jim Schoenfeld, Bill Barber, Wayne Merrick, Dave Gardner, Phil Russell, Lauren Henning, Tom Bladden, Bob Nystrom, Jim Watson.
Other Jim Watson, we got the good Jim Watson.
Al McAdam was drafted in round 4.
Yep.
Bill Nyrop.
Okay, so March 1st, we've got, I think, 9 games left in the season. We've clinched first place in the West Division. Still would like another
yes,
defenseman.
your favorite goaltender is in this next draft.
Who would that be?
Richard Brodeur.
Oh, there we go. Yep, could pick him up. Problem is, there's just a drop off after Talon from the trading block guys down to 2 stars. Dick Cherry, Don Cherry's brother, who's actually wound up having a pretty good NHL career with LA here. Bit of a surprise. Forwards. I mean, Eddie Joyal won the cup with the Kings last year. Kind of tempting with 2 guys out. He's cheap, his contract's expiring. I think we can get him reasonably quickly. Or cheaply, rather. If I package Kelly... but what would I put with one of the extra goalies? Kelly and Gary Bromley. Yep, they're okay with that. Okay, so I think that's the only one we're going to do. So we pick up Eddie Joyal, who's having a good year statistically this year. 54 points, 59 games. And see if he's going to re-sign. No, yeah, he'll actually re-sign cheaply. Okay. So make the trade immediately, get him signed to a new contract, and I think we're good on other contracts. Oh, Ted Hampson, do we really want to re-sign him? He only wants 1 year, so... Okay, and past the trading deadline, and we are on our way to the playoffs, eventually. Oh, wow, quite a few, wow, a whole bunch of trades.
That's interesting and a bit surprising.
Yeah. Okay, Buffalo and St. Louis, and Glenn Hall's stay in Buffalo is not, there's only 9 games because he gets moved on to the Blues, where he actually did finish his career, I think. Josh Waverman from Oakland to the Blues. Blues picking up a few guys.
Gearing up.
Seals and Rangers. I think Dave Burrows is the big guy there. Jerry Meehan for Gene Carr.
Oh no, there's a guy we could have got for some backup. Seeing moved in my game was Ab McDonald, stuck in the minor leagues.
Yeah, here we go. Here's a good one. Colorado sends Ted Harris, who's 35 and just about done, and minor leaguer Brian Gibbons to the Kings for 19-year-old Mike Milbury. Yeah, I mean, actually a pretty good trade for Colorado.
Hit him with a shoe. Hit him with a shoe again.
It doesn't happen for a few more years. And future Canucks coach Trick Lee goes to Buffalo from the Rangers. And that is about it. A few decent-sized deals, nothing huge. Now, what do we want to do here with Joyal? I think I'm going to put him on the 3rd line because I don't really want to screw up Dennis Hextall, who's been doing really well where he is right now. Okay, Schultz goes back to his 4th line spot.
How's Battleship Kelly doing?
Well, I just traded him, so not doing anything with us anymore.
No, I'm just curious how we did and how he's doing now.
Hang on a sec. Let me just gonna put Joel on the penalty kill. And 4-on-4, so he gets a little special teams time, even if he's not getting quite as much 5-on-5. Okay, pretty good there. And you want to see how Kelly was doing before we dumped him. Is Red Kelly still on? Oh, he's retired. 14 games, did not have a single point. Hadn't even got
About what you would expect.
That's weird. He actually had no penalties in 26 games for us.
That's surprising.
Yeah, not exactly what you would expect from somebody named Battleship.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, Richard Brodeur is already in the league. What? So did I get the draft wrong, or maybe
And playing Pittsburgh.
he's 19? Oh, is this? This would have been a 20-year draft then.
6-1 win against Pittsburgh, and Joel has 2 points in his first game with us.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, so we're still drafting 18-year-olds in the NHL. For those not paying attention, in the 1970s, the NHL started changing when guys were getting drafted and kind of threw around the years, and it gets really messy. And because we are using Jeff, I'm drawing a blank on the mode.
You turned on. We're in historical mode, but we've edited it so it
Yes,
the draft
but
stays in the same format.
But what's it called? Historical league editing. That's the word I'm looking for. Since we have historical league editing on, it's changed, and now it's constantly just 18-year-olds. So that's why the draft is different than real life.
Yeah. So
versus instead of having 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds.
So we'll have the 18-year-old draft all the way through the 70s. And up against Bobby Orr and the Bruins, and Esposito is starting to cool off. We've got to fix that. Although we do win 3-1. "72 games, and we're trailing Boston by a little bit for the overall lead, but still in good shape. Now who's hurt? Ted Hampson. Just day-to-day, sore hip. He's an old guy. Makes sense. Throw Hodge in against the Bobby Hull-less Bruins. 3-2 loss against our former backup, Gilles Gilbert. Or former third stringer, I think it was. Back against the Bruins. And we lose 4-2 to the Bruins, so not a good time for us to be cooling off. But both injured guys look like they're almost ready to come back. And put SCU in against Oakland. 3-3 tie, a little disappointing. Hampson is healthy again, at least. So Houston is out. Dave Dunn is almost back. Maybe we'll get him for the second half of this back-to-back. Oakland again, and a 4-1 loss this time. Guys, come on. You're worrying me.
Dun, 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 dun. Wow.
Okay, throw in Hodge against Pittsburgh, see if that wakes the team up a little bit. And we lose 4-3. Okay, so they've just taken the rest of the season off. One more game. And we're not catching Boston. They've got a 10-point lead on first overall. Close out the season against Minnesota. I'll put Esposito in and see if he can get a little hotter. Oh, and Dave Dunn is back just in time. Didn't really want to head into the playoffs. I'm playing Pat Quinn. Everybody else, oh, Joel had 2 points in his first game and hasn't scored since then. Oh boy, Esposito down to 2. But 3-1 win at least to finish the season. Looks like everybody else has a couple of games in hand on us. And the Blues lose Daryl Sittler. A couple of weeks, not good timing at the start of the playoffs.
Better them than us.
Okay, and award nominees. Did we get any? None from for the Hart. Kind of disappointing. Oops, did I click off? Esposito got a Vezina nomination. Guy Lapointe got a Norris nomination. Definitely not anybody going to be Rookie of the Year. Bill Barber, Don Lever, and yeah, no, Guy Lafleur will get that easily for the Sabres. I am not nominated for GM of the Year. Red Berenson, nominee for the Lady Byng. And I am nominated for Coach of the Year. So apparently my coaching is fine, GM not quite as good. And development report.
Trade at the trade deadline.
Yeah. Don't think anybody's, at least the injured guys, Maloney and Leach, haven't stopped improving. Dunn gets a little, and would rather Carl Brewer had not dropped a little right at the end of the season like that. Okay, and that's convenient. We're getting right up to the top of the hour as we hit the playoffs, so
yeah,
just about wrap it up here. But let's just take a quick look at the first round series. Oh, Montreal did squeeze into the playoffs, so they're going to get crushed by the Bruins in Series 1, and it's yeah, oh yeah, that's right. This has this odd format where the division set bottom half of the division crosses over. So Kansas City and LA looking to defend their championship, so may get a Boston-LA series in the second game, in the second round. We need to play Chicago in the first round and Rangers and Wings after that, which will also be a tough series for us. I'm just going to see what the Hawks are looking right now. Tell me Bobby Hull's still hurt. Bobby Hull is not still hurt. I think he's just come back, actually. That we did not need. Because, yeah, but Dennis Hall had a good year with his taking over the #1 spot from his brother, Andre Lacroix, who we traded last year. Good, yeah, there's a lot of scoring depth there. That's going to be a problem. But their goaltending is bad. That's one thing we got. Gilbert and Lowe.
Take what you can.
And I just want to take a look at our... wasn't really watching the stats as we went through the season, but... Yeah, Esposito 101 points. Red Berenson tailed off a little bit there, I guess, at the... later in the season, because he was on track to have a better year this year than he did last year, but he actually finished a couple of points short. Guy Lapointe, another strong year. Wayne Connolly. And Joyal, most of that isn't with us. Dennis Hextall, surprisingly, 50 points. After we had pretty much given him up for dead. Hedberg, 49, another little bit of improvement from him. René Robert, steady at 40. Although it looks like he's now got an extra half point of potential that I don't remember seeing before. Harry
That's
Howell,
right.
39 years old, 37 points. Very nice. Hampson slowing down. Jerry Korab, still want him to improve at some point. And Esposito finishes with still only 6 shutouts, but improved his goals against average and save percentage. And Charlie Hodge going downhill a little bit this year. Played the same number of games, but stats weren't quite as good. Okay, so I think we can wind it up there, Adam. Oh, chat question. Who are you picking tonight? Caps and Islanders. Which one, Adam?
I think the Islanders are going to close it out tonight.
Yeah, I think Ovechkin will. They're not going to give up that easily, so they'll get them at least to Game 6. And Dallas and Calgary, I'd just like to see Calgary take that to 7 games.
I can't see the Flames winning it, but you never know.
It'd be nice.
We shall see.
Okay, you want to wind it up there?
Sure. So thank you very much for tuning into another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/OOTB Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTB Developments. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we're at Franchise Hockey. You can also find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. You, of course, can also come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, and you come to our official forums where you can talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
Just that the Leafs missed the playoffs in this game.
Just
Always a
like
good
real
thing.
life.
Yep. Okay, so thanks for coming out, everybody, and we will be back next week with Adam's Minnesota Wild reclamation game, which is finally starting to show sometimes of signs of life. So, are we in what point of the year are we at in that one? Is it the off season or?
No, it's 2023, and we're just around December 25th. I don't know the exact point. But
I don't think we'll quite make the playoffs in that one, or make it up to the playoffs. We should make the playoffs, but.
Oh, sorry. You know what? It's Quick Look says it's the end of November, so we'll be pushing towards the trade deadline.
Yep. Okay, so thanks for coming on, everybody, and we will see you in a week.